I'm foreign too. From Malaysia, I moved to the UK 3 years ago, mainly for comedy, and so I can drink tap water and not shit myself. It's my favorite part of your country now, by the way. Yeah, sometimes hot and cold are two different taps. Who cares? Both clean. I'm Skyping with my parents back in Malaysia. Hey, don't try this at home, Mom. This is transparent every time. When I first moved here, I asked a guy, what's the worst thing you have in your London tap water? And he told me, lime scale. I was like, what the fuck is lime scale? Does it give you a headache? Does it make you vomit? He said, no, it just makes the inside of your kettle a little bit white. Life must be so hard for you. With your kettle discoloration problems. I love scale. I eat all the scale now. I'm gonna go home and lick my teapot later. Some good shit, man.
Love music. I watched the Jules Holland programme, even though Jules Holland's there being weird. Getting more and more vague, isn't he, Jules Holland, every year? Now he's like a drunkard hosting his own imaginary dinner party. Showing an imaginary guest around the house.
And now, delighted to be joined out here. We've got the spare bedroom. You can leave your coat on the bed there. We'll go to the bathroom now. Some good painkillers in there. And now return to the kitchen. Oh, bollocks, why did I come in here? Oh, yes, to see Annie Lennox.
There's one song that's been in my head ever since I was 16, because it was the first time I ever went to a nightclub. Now, I couldn't get into straight clubs, so I went to GAY with my friend Tony. Tony was 40, I was 16. It was all very appropriate. I'll never forget the first time I walked into GAY, because there was a song called Believe by Cher. Ooh. What a song. What a voice she had. It's been in my head ever since. So inspiring. No little, 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 little. You keep a little needle, you're still in the little. There's no children, lulu. I'm so silly, little, the children. I need children, little, little. The children, little one. Good to share.
I'm American. I'm not from here. And so I've lived here for a few years, and I've been getting familiar with the NHS, and I'm fucking crazy about it. Oh, my God. In America, if you get sick, you just have to bring a stack of credit cards to the doctor, and they look at the stack, and they're like, that's not enough, and then they kick you out, and then you die. But here, I wish that were a joke, but then here, if you get sick, you go to the NHS, and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll give it a shot. Like, they can't guarantee they're gonna fix you, but they give it the college try. It's just amazing. I love, when people fuck with the NHS, you should just kill them, because it's so amazing. The NHS, I couldn't love it more. If the NHS had a dick, I would suck the fuck out of that dick. At first I would take it when I was soft, and I would just drape it on my face, and then I'd let it kind of meander into my mouth, and I'd start sucking it soft, but then I'd start to hum something nice, and maybe Arctic Monkeys, whatever, and then it would get hard, and I would suck the dick so aggressively that it would come down and just peek out my tummy at you and wink at you. That's how much I love the fucking NHS. Like, I don't know, why am I making it male? Maybe the NHS has a pussy. If so, I would just scuba dive in it. I would just go bananas on that nasty NHS pussy. Why am I gendering it? The NHS is greater than male or female. It probably has a cloaca, like a chicken, you know?
I have another neighbour who I hate. You wait. When you hear this, you're going to hate her as well. She's my enemy. Every day, she comes out of her house. You wait. Every day, she comes out of her house at 8 in the morning. I have to get up early to watch her. I hate her. She comes out of her house at 8 in the morning, gets in her car, doesn't drive off. She drives forward a bit, like a few metres, leaves the engine running, and then she goes round to the boot, gets out 4 orange traffic cones, which she then puts in a square on the floor where her car was, and then she just jumps back in and drives off to whatever an uptight bitch does all day. I hate her so much. I can't function. I'm thinking about her obsessively, constantly, all of the time. I hate her. All of us have to live in really crowded places. We have to share our space. I've got a favourite table in Pret-a-Manger. I don't drag it home with me so that no one else can sit there. Also, I'm aware, just in case you're a lovely person who thinks maybe this woman has got mobility issues, maybe she has to save this space because she wouldn't be able to walk further if she'd had to park further away. No. She's absolutely fine, because I saw her running down the road chasing after her dog after I let her dog go to see if she was able-bodied. She's fine. She's absolutely fine. She's just horrible. I hate her. I hate all of my neighbours for respecting the cones. They are not official cones. They're lady cones. I hate them also. And all of it, I'm so furious. You know, on holiday, it's the same thing when someone puts out a towel on a lounger and then just disappears off for hours and hours and nobody moves it. Why am I shivering under a tree letting a towel have a better holiday than me? No, throw it in the pool. Set fire to it. Also, and it's never used to bother me, but now it bothers me very much, people who put a bag next to them on a seat on the tube or on a bus. I hate it. It makes me so angry. It never used to bother me, I think mainly because I used to be younger than this. Yes, I used to be a young woman with a young woman's lack of confidence. So, like, I never thought I was better than a bag. I never felt superior to a rucksack. I was just trying to take up the smallest amount of space possible. But recently I've become more confident because I found out about white privilege. And it's really made me believe in myself and what I can achieve. And so now I get this fury whenever I see someone doing this thing. And I've realised this emotion, it's primal. Because in our species, tens of thousands of years ago, if somebody encroached on our territory, we'd have ripped their throats out with our teeth. And I do think it's good that we don't do that anymore. I do think we're advancing as a species. I do think it is good that we don't rip each other's throats out with our teeth. But I just think there has to be a middle ground, doesn't it? In between, you know, like ripping each other's throats out with our teeth and tutting. Like, that's what I need. I have to just say that thing I said about white privilege was a joke. I was joking. And the thing is, I am white. I'll admit it. I am. That bit's true. But I'm a white English person. So they're the two things, they're two worst things about me, actually. I'm sure lots of you are white English people as well. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm just so aware that white English people throughout history have done the worst things to people of every other nation, and we continue to benefit from those things. And I'm not saying that I don't want to be white. I'm all right. I'll be a little bit white, but also want to be a little bit blue to show how sad I am about the atrocities committed by white people, and also a little bit red to show how embarrassed I am that white people don't do enough to acknowledge those atrocities. So yes, I'm going to paint my face red, white and blue just so that everyone knows I'm not racist.
It's lovely to be here, man, especially doing comedy and stuff. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to comedy, I feel like I get comedy from my mum's side of my family. My mum's a very funny, bubbly person. You know what I mean? Even where my mum's from, you know. My mum's actually from Wales, believe it or not, you know. Remember there was one kid once, I was like 4 years old, this one teacher said, if everyone could say their name and where their parents are from. I was like, don't really understand the latter. Like, immigration, I don't want you to understand why you're asking me that question right there. But I complied. I was like, oh, you know, my mum's actually from Wales. You know, this one kid couldn't believe it. Hold on, wait. Can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, go for it, man. Are there black people in Wales? Yeah, of course there are, man. You know, the world is a big place. You know, okay, hold on, sorry. Just learnt my times tables last week. This is quite a big revelation. Can I ask you one more question? Like, yeah, go for it, man. Fire away, man. Is your mum black? Yeah, of course she is, man. You know, this isn't a big bruise, you know what I mean? This is... And I'll be honest, yeah? It wasn't even like how less of the world knew, you know, this kid knew about, or how naive this kid was. It was the fact that this kid was 4 years old, such a deep voice. Like, why wasn't anyone talking about this, you know? Why didn't he talk about he had a moustache? I'm at this stage now where I'm a bit older. I make my own money. You know, I like going out. You know what I mean? And to the point, even like, I still live at my mum's house as well. So that's quite tricky. You know, I'm at that kind of stage where my mum's like, oh, you need to go out and spread your wings. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. With all this hot water and free food, I'm not going anywhere. Don't make me a sandwich. Why are you showing off? Why are you doing all that stuff for? But I still like going out. You know, when I used to go out when I was a little bit younger, because I'm actually 46. Black doesn't crack. I'm actually 46. Morgan Freeman's 205. But I'm at that stage where, you know, when I was a lot younger, I used to love going out. And the guys I used to go out with were like proper lads. They're proper geezers. They're geezer names. Names like Dave. Names like Dean. Names like Danny. They just talk like this. There's a guy in. Going for a shit. But they were proper lads, proper geezers, right? For me, I think growing up, they were the most probably honest guys I think I've ever met. Sometimes they were too honest, because I used to play football with these guys. You know, our group was literally half black, half white. That was our football team. You know, what we do, we celebrate our season as a team. You know, we'd go out somewhere for a meal, then we'd all go out raving, right? You know, one of the black guys once said, yo, guys, we're going to go to this club that plays like reggae, Afro beats. You guys fancy come along? This white guy once says, nah, mate, don't like all that Jumanji music, son. Not for me. You know when it's so racist, you start laughing at, what the fuck? Don't say that. And that's the thing, these guys are mostly the honest guys I know. But they had this thing, right, amongst themselves, where when they go out, they had this thing called, tonight we're gonna have it large. We're gonna have it large tonight. They're the only group of guys I know where they be talking in a club, having real life conversations about real life stuff. But once they hear a beat that hits their soul, that's it. Having it large mode has kicked in. You've seen these guys, they're talking, yeah, basically, mate, no. Me and my Julie, we're moving to a new place, yeah, so we're gonna get a couple of cans. Oh, mate, we've got to do the kitchen. Yeah, it's a nightmare, yeah, we'll do a bit of plumbing in the kitchen as well. That's gonna be. Talk to people they don't know. You want in love? You want a drink? Yeah, no? Fucking jog on it. Dance. I've got moves. You mean I ain't got moves? Of course I've got moves. And they thought they could dance, yeah? And what they used to do, they used to do this little skit. This was their little, like, dance. I can dance. I can dance right now. Put my collar up, mate. Here we go.
I'm American. I'm not. So what? Yeah, I'm American, and okay. And I'm the same as you, though. Same shit. Same thing as if it were a British comedian up here. Except for one difference I've noticed. British comedians frequently do crowd work. They talk to you, they ask you questions, there's a back and forth. I don't really do that, because I don't care what you have to say. I mean, I care about you. I want you to have fun, but we don't need to fucking talk about it, you know? And I never really understand it, because they're like, hey, what do you do for a living? And then you tell them, and then they make sport of you. Here's why I don't do crowd work, okay? Like, I am gonna do crowd work, and you'll see why I don't. I'm not gonna be mean to you, don't worry. May I ask, sir, what you do for a living?
I work in media, advertising.
You work in media advertising. Okay, great. So a British comedian would be like, well, yeah, making the adverts and then, fuck you, you know? All right, why do they, okay, great, you do. I look at the adverts and they influence me, and then I go buy the better thing, because you did that. Thank you. How would I make decisions without you? You're a good person, probably.
Difficult time to be a young person in London. A city continually dragging itself up by its cranes to ever new heights of unaffordability, now only really accessible as a playground for the super wealthy and their offspring. I'm not from that sort of background myself, regardless of what you may think from the way that I pronounce the word years. No, I will explain. I realize that I sound as though I've been colonized by my own voice. But the reason for this is, when my grandparents first moved to this country in the early 1960s, my grandfather told his 3 children, including my mother, that in the interests of integration, whenever they were outside of the house, they were banned from speaking to one another in Gujarati, their mother tongue, and instead had to speak in sort of prim and proper, and at the time, affected received pronunciation accents in order to minimize the chances of them getting the shit kicked out of them. Right now, I once asked my uncle if this tactic worked, and he just looked at me and went, heavens no!
I
I was thinking, like, what is the difference between a pet peeve and, like, a truly bad thing? I think, here's a good example of a pet peeve. I was playing with a neighbor of ours recently, this kid named Joshua. He's about 8, and we were playing. I don't remember what happened, but at one point he goes, "Ow, Mr. Delaney, you hurted me." And I was like, "Joshua, I didn't hurted you, I hurt you. And if you don't get it right, I'm gonna hurt you again." Right? Pet peeve, that's just a little thing, not a big deal. But then there's really horrible things in this world, you know, like famine, or when a woman is like, "Here's what I think," you know? So you've got a shitty thing to say that I don't even believe. Seriously, misogyny makes me angry. Except I did see some misogyny recently that was pretty good, so I'm kind of thinking about getting back on board. I was on the bus, and there were these 2 guys in their 20s, and one of them is talking about his girlfriend. And he goes, "Yeah, Stephanie doesn't poop. I don't even think she farts." And then the other guy goes, "Yeah, she better not." And then they high-fived each other. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you love someone, you should want them to shit poop out of their butt. Do you want her to have a gastroenterological event and explode, killing people? You fucking jerks. So I banged their heads together, and I took his mobile and ran off the bus. Texted Stephanie. I was like, "You can poop at Uncle Bobby's house all day." Yeah.
My dad came to this country in 1964, fought racial oppression on the streets of England. I was born in the 70s, fought racists in the 80s and 90s. Current day, para de Barbosa, licking by their cans. I got my own driver now, things are going quite well. Well, it's called an Uber. I got my own Uber. I downloaded the app, innit? Has anyone in this room ever got into an Uber which is 2 stars? Which has got a 2-star rating? You might as well lube yourself up on the way in. Hey, he picked me up on time, but he left me in a shallow grave. 2 stars. I don't want a conversation, mate. Just take me to my destination. They want to have conversations. It's like a talk show in that. Everything good, everything nice? Understand? Everything good, everything nice? You know where we're going? Everything good, everything nice? What's your name, man? Everything good, everything nice? What's his name on his name badge? Everything good, everything nice. That was his first name, you know? Black taxis hate Ubers, you know, because they undercut them. These fucking Ubers, mate. They're coming over here and they're nicking our fucking jobs. They're nicking our jobs, they are. Nicking your jobs. Has anyone in this room ever had a job stolen before? No one's ever in this room ever gone out and stolen a job. What are you doing tomorrow, man? We've got a big job tomorrow. What are you doing? We're gonna go out and we're gonna steal a couple of fucking jobs. We're gonna go into those offices, steal all the fucking jobs. We're gonna nick everyone's fucking jobs. We're gonna do a big jobbery, not a robbery, a fucking jobbery. No one's come at you, "Hey, mate, do you wanna buy something? What you got?" "I got some jobs." "What you got?" "I got black taxis, Ubers." "You got a receipt for that?" "Nah, it's fucking stolen, mate." You ever turned up at work in the morning and someone's stolen you the job? Where the fuck's my job gone, man? I had a job here yesterday, bruv. Someone's come and nicked my fucking job.
How are we doing, guys? Are we good? Well, very good to be here. I love gigging here. I've been gigging all over the place recently. Done a lot of gigs in Scotland recently for about 3 weeks, and it was fun. I love Scotland, but every time I go to Scotland, I learn a new Scottish phrase that we don't have down here, and it baffles me. The phrase I learned this time is, let's say you're in England, go to a bar, order a drink, person behind the bar would say something like, "Oh, will that be everything then?" Yeah? Scotland, they don't normally say that. Scotland, they say, "Oh, is that you then?" But they don't warn us about that. So I was up in Scotland, 3rd day, went to buy some cereal, put it at the till. Man behind the till said, "Is that you?" But he pointed at Coco the monkey. So I said, "No." And he said, "So what, pal?" And I said, "A monkey." And he said, "What?" And I was like, am I a monkey? Is that a bear? I mean, what is my life? And I got scared, I wanted to leave, so I pretended my phone was ringing, so I go, sorry, one sec, but I accidentally took out my wallet, put that to my face. Got the train home from Scotland. It was like a 7-hour journey, very boring. I was sitting opposite a very cool-looking guy. He looked like he was called Zach. And halfway through the journey, I needed to call my friend, so I called her, and I said, hello, you. But then it cut out. Now, I don't know if you've had the phone cut out on you on the train before. It's humiliating. What do? You can't hang up, especially after you've done an audacious greeting, because you look like a hostage taker. Like, hello, you. So you just gotta improvise this conversation and make it wind down. So I tried to do that, and he was looking at me like, mate, we know you fucked it. Like, it was so obvious. It was like, have you ever been on a train, a person opposite you's been asleep, and then they wake up and they go... like, try to work out if they've missed their stop based on what those horses look like. And then they say to you, sorry, have you gone past Reading? And you go, yeah. And they go, okay. And you can tell they're so desperate to ask, sorry, how long ago did we go past Reading? And they're like, no, one question maximum. I mentioned that to my mum. I said, Mum, is that train thing funny? Shall I say it on stage? And she said, no, and stop being a comedian.
I love living in London, man. London's great. You can get Asian food everywhere here, right? My favorite restaurant here is Yo Sushi, right? That conveyor belt thing you have. Thanks for turning our art into baggage claim. Can you imagine a Japanese sushi chef coming here on holiday, work his whole life trying to make the perfect sushi, come over here, discover you can also get sushi at Boots. Oh, what is this Boots meal deal? Oh no! Look at this shit, Yamaguchi. Look at this shit. Condoms, lube, our life's work. They put our soy sauce in a plastic fish, Yamaguchi. And squirt it. First Godzilla, now this. Fuck. And you get free crisps with it. Boots meal deal, $3.75. Like, who is pairing sushi with walkers? You know what this raw fish needs? Fucking cheese and onion. That's what it needs. Worcestershire sauce, sweet chili. I get a free drink with it. Ribena. How about that? It's very disappointing, right? Anyone here got sushi from Boots? You do? Fucking hell. I think the people who buy sushi from Boots are the same people who buy like a dildo from Poundland. I know it's convenient, but treat yourself better, okay? Don't put that shit in you.